Welcome to the Mixed Reception Podcast. I'm your host, Barrett Sigmund, and today we have a very special guest, Kerry Kruk. What's up, Kerry?
Oh my God, Barrett. I'm so excited to be here today.
You might know Kerry from, she's a staple at the Push Comedy Theater. Absolute Uncertainty. Girl-Prov.
Congratulatory BJs.
That's right. Congratulatory BJs.
The CBJ is probably the most underrated, exquisite sketch group that has come out, second to Absolute Uncertainty. Also plug Panties In a Twist.
I was going to say, Panties In a Twist, musical improv. Yeah, you name it, she's done it. But today we're here to talk about Heathers. We were at the beach together like 3 weeks ago when I was drunk. And I was like, hey, what movie do you want to do?
Immediately, without hesitation.
Yeah.
Heathers.
You're like, Heathers. I was like, okay, let's do Heathers.
It should be known, disclaimer, I'm quite a bit older than Barrett. So the reason why Heathers was so easily picked out by my very old brain is because it was very, very applicable to my life.
So let me ask you this. So I would say, before we really get into it, typically we kind of do movies that, got like a mixed reception at the time. I actually kind of looking into this, and we'll get more into it when we do reviews at the time. But like for the most part, like critics like generally like this movie, but it just really wasn't successful. Like, do you remember like when this movie came out? Like,
when the movie came out,
like in theaters?
In theaters. This was back before they had movie theaters. I'm just kidding. So the movie came out in like 88, 89. 89. And I started high school in 1990. And I remember Heathers was like exciting because of the star power it had in it. Because everybody was falling all over themselves for Christian Slater. Christian Slater was like the dude.
I was gonna say, what did he do before this? I only know like 3 Christian Slater movies.
The Legend of Billie Jean.
I've never heard of that.
Oh my God, that one should be the next time I'm on the pod.
Okay.
Because that one was excellent. He's in it with his sister, Helen Slater.
I didn't even know he had a sister. Wow, I'm learning a lot.
Oh, his sister Helen Slater was the Supergirl when Supergirl was...
That Supergirl movie?
Yes.
No shit.
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't know this.
Boom. Yep. So at the time, I feel like it was definitely a rated R movie, I feel like. Was it rated R?
I think it was.
Rated R movie. And I think at the time, none of us could go without our parents because you had to be a certain age to get into the movie theater.
Okay.
But it was definitely a dark comedy, kind of sordid topic. And really, like back then, teenage suicide was a big deal. Lots of PSAs, after school specials on teen drinking and teenage suicide. So
I was gonna say,
it was
like,
popular because of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe that's why it just didn't do very well, because just like
did not do well.
Yeah, controversial. I got into this movie. So do you remember that show I Love the 80s on VH1?
Oh yes. Yeah.
So that's how I first heard about this movie. They did. So it was 1989. They did, and then they were talking about Heathers, and I was like, what the hell is this movie? This looks awesome. So yeah, that show comes out, and I just went years and years without seeing it, but it was always in the back of my mind, like I want to see this one day. And it was one of those things, like I knew all the lines.
Yeah.
Like, I love my dead gay son.
I love my dead gay son.
Lick it up, baby. Lick it up. And then greetings and salutations. And so, like, it's just one of those movies. The years went by, I just never watched it. And when I lived in Charleston, I was like 19, and like I was living in an apartment. I couldn't afford like cable or internet. This was like before Netflix. It was like another year before the Netflix streaming thing got big, and all I did was just like watch movies. And I was like just walking around Target in the movie section, and I saw Heathers, the 20th anniversary edition. I was like, I'm gonna fucking buy Heathers. Yeah. And I watched it, and I was like, this is really good.
It's a great movie.
And so yeah, it's one of those movies I haven't seen a ton. I would say this was probably only like the 4th or 5th time I've watched it, but it's one of those movies like every couple of years, like I'll see it on like Hulu or Netflix or Amazon Prime, and I'll be like, oh, Heathers. I'll watch Heathers.
The movie when it came out was really important because it was after a run of all those John Hughes movies.
Yes.
Like 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, all of the Sherwood Heights or whatever they are, Illinois movies that came out. I think Home Alone came out around the time. So it was like an answer to, or it was like an opposite. It was like, taking that movie and giving it a different life, because it was definitely a different teenage story at that time. One that was not in the popular genre of that time. So I think it stood out amongst all of those movies, standalone hit. And I do believe that there are aspects of it that are timeless. And they
for sure
nailed it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, not a lot of attention at the time. I think this is one of those, like, it was popular on home video, I want to say. I think that's kind of how it's, cult status kind of grew because of home video. So, yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Well, let's get into it.
Yes.
Reviews at the time. So, like I said, generally speaking, most critics seemed to like it at the time. Not everybody loved it. So I got 5 reviews. I wrote down just, I'm going to read them off. Tell me what you think, if you agree with them.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, we got Desan Thompson, the Washington Post, gave it a perfect 4 out of 4. Wickedly funny. Mm-hmm. In fact, Heathers may be the nastiest, cruelest fun you can have without actually having to study law or grind leather products. If movies were food, Heathers would be a cynic's chocolate binge. Wow. Does this movie make you want to, like, binge chocolate?
Binge on chocolate. Well, the movie does deal with bulimia.
So, we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
The chicken wing scene. And she's like, I wrote that in my notes. I was like, what the fuck?
But in the cruelest, most fun, I think cruel fun, I think is a really good way to put it. I think it was probably a really fun movie to make, from those characters, got to do things that you only just wish that you could, or like speak the way that they spoke. The dialogue was exquisite.
Oh, yeah.
Exquisite.
Script is wonderful.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, I got another one. Chicago Tribune, Dave Kerr. The sheer outrageousness of its attitude is enough to make Heathers a very welcome relief in a field dominated by sanctimonious and secondhand virtue. That he hit it on the head. I mean, like you said earlier, I think we're not that. I do think John Hughes movies, like, they were a little bit more positive and uplifting. I do think John Hughes, like, the way he wrote his teenage characters, I think he understood the mind of a teenager. I'll give him credit. But this is just such a, like we said, like, such a kind of different take on that genre. Yeah,
John Hughes was definitely giving kids, like, sort of more hopeful,
right,
in order to get through high school, I think. But what Heathers did was it was answering back. It was like the stepbrother or the adopted foster brother of the John Hughes movie.
It was like the dead gay son.
And, like, this is great. I hope it doesn't ruin anything. But, like, towards the end, like, Christian Slater was, like, talking about in heaven is the only place where all aspects of society could actually be together and be, like, comfortable with that, which, when you think about this dealt with class, this dealt with status, and definitely talked about, like, cliques and high school as a microcosm of what, being in society is like. But yeah, in the John Hughes movies, like Breakfast Club says people can be together no matter what. And you've got the rich girl making out with the school dropout dude at the end. Like, that's real.
And don't get it twisted, like, there's some dark elements in some John Hughes movies. I mean, there's some dark stuff in The Breakfast Club, but there's also a satirical element to it also.
But I think Heather sort of just, like, exposes it for what really it is.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Heathers or Breakfast Club?
Oh my God. As a what? Like my preference?
What's your preference? What's the better movie?
God bless America. Oh, I suppose it depends on what day it is. Like, if I'm
Heathers all the time, baby.
Heathers, yeah, I mean,
Heathers all the time, baby.
Heathers definitely leaves more fun to be unwrapped as a present.
Yes.
Breakfast Club is a little bit more predictable. So just for that, Heathers.
All right, our boy Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times. This is like a weird review. It was like the most passive-aggressive review. I mean, he gave it a 2.5 out of 4, but like a lot of the stuff in the reviews, like, pretty positive. For a long time, we're not even sure the point of view. Is this a black comedy about murder or just a cynical morality play? The traveler in the foreign country is not sure, but he knows the film inspires thought. What sets Heathers apart from less intelligent teenage movies is that it has a point of view towards this subject matter, a bleak, macabre, and bittingly satirical one. I mean, like, I don't know. Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Maybe he was going through like a relationship breakup at the time.
I know he dated Oprah.
Maybe he was breaking up with Oprah at the time. Oprah may have been like popping off like in the early 90s.
Well, here's the thing. Is this a black comedy or about murder or cynical morality play? I mean, both?
I guess so. I mean, I think murder is just a device.
True.
In it, I think, because it's really about, the fake front that people have.
Yes.
Versus, what people really mean, or like when somebody dies, like what you say about them versus how they treated people for real. So, I don't know. I think murder is just a device.
Yeah, more mixed review. I guess maybe didn't like how dark it was, or I don't know.
But I think that it was an accurate reflection of what was going on at that time. People didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. We got a bit of a more negative one. We got Pauline Kael, The New Yorker. Yes, it's a collection of barbs and sick jokes, but it's not fun. And it lacks a punchline. The young, inexperienced director, Michael Lehmann, doesn't find the right mood for the gags. I completely disagree with this review. I think it is a lot of fun.
I think maybe she was bullied in high school.
Yeah.
So she over-identifies with the kids that got bullied.
Maybe she was the girl in the locker room eating a chicken wing.
She may have been the chicken wing.
Yeah. I don't agree with the New Yorker.
Yeah, she might have gotten cut from the swim team.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, look at like Roger Ebert and the other guy from Chicago
Tribune
giving reviews, and then the guy from the Washington Post. So we're talking DC, so it's not quite East Coast, and then we're talking about East Coast. So I don't know, like geography, if this is more of a Midwest comedy.
Maybe.
Because it was staged in Ohio.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
I got another Chicago one, but this one's kind of more negative.
Okay.
We got Jonathan Rosenbaum, Chicago Reader. Succeeds at least in being offbeat, but its innatives and glib pretensions are so thick that it mainly comes across as tacky and contrived. I don't agree with that.
I don't know. I feel like if you watch it from a superficial place and you take it seriously, you might think it's tacky and contrived. I'll tell you, the first time I saw Anchorman, the Ron Burgundy story,
great movie.
I saw it in the theaters. Anchorman 1 the first time, and I did not like it at all. I was like,
I agree. That's a movie that the more you watch, I think it grows on you.
Oh, the second time I watched it, couldn't stop laughing. But the first time I watched it, I was like, this is too much. Everybody's just so full of themselves. So maybe it's that kind of a reaction. Maybe people are too callous in Heathers.
Yeah. They didn't really know what to make of it at the time. But yeah, I mean, I think in some instances, maybe this movie needs more than one viewing.
100%.
Yeah.
I have seen it many more than one times.
Rotten Tomatoes, critics, 93%. Now, like I think we talked offline, but a lot of people these are probably like more recent reviews, maybe. Yeah. Audience, 83. Yeah. Consensus, dark, cynical, and subversive. Right. Heathers gently applies a chainsaw to the conventions of the high school movie, changing the game for teen comedies to follow. Yeah, that's a perfect consensus. Totally agree. Metacritic, we got 72. IMDb, 7.2. So, yeah, I mean, people seem to generally like it.
Yeah, they should like it. I think we get down and dirty after this. I think it was sort of that keystone in a movement towards more darker comedies afterwards that followed it. And even more the teen kind of like girl-dominated teen comedies that followed it.
Well, also like Mean Girls. You would not have Mean Girls without this.
Right. Jawbreakers.
I've never seen Jawbreakers.
Oh, my God. You also have to see that one.
Oh, okay.
And The Craft.
I want to see The Craft.
Yes.
That's the one where they're like witches and stuff.
They're witches, yep. But it's the same kind of formula where it's these 4 girls that are sort of these outcasts that turn it around with magic and become these hot mean girls. And then you've got Mean Girls, quintessential Mean Girls, and Jawbreaker, which is about cheerleaders.
I used to love Mean Girls, but I got Mean Girls out. It was to a point where it was on TV like all the fucking time. And I got sick of it.
Yeah, 100%. And then, Lindsay Lohan, I mean, she burnt out like the Hindenburg.
Jesus Christ, right?
So unfortunately, like she played this cute innocent in that movie, but in her real life, dumpster fire.
God, that was like her only good movie.
Well, The Parent Trap, I think, was the one.
Okay, and then Herbie Fully Loaded.
And Herbie, yeah.
Have you seen Herbie?
No.
All right, box office.
Do it.
So yeah, like we said, like this movie was a bomb.
Yeah.
So, but it had like a low budget. It only cost $3 million, but it only made like $1.1 million.
Yeah.
I feel like I could fart out $1 million. Like, what the hell?
If you could fart $1 million, that would probably be helpful right now.
Oh, I would love it.
Game time.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint why this failed. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe just the subject matter.
That and maybe the audience that it was intended couldn't actually get into the movie theater at the time because it was rated.
Yeah, because were a lot of these John Hughes movies, they were like PG-13, maybe?
Yeah.
Or PG?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about the rating.
Yeah, because back then they really took it seriously. When a movie was rated R or whatever, you couldn't like get in. Or you had to go with your parents. And
yeah, like which parents Mom, will you take me to see Heifels?
But back then, I will tell you, going to the movie theater was amazing.
Did you see this in the movie theater?
No, I did not see this one in the movie theater because I was...
That's true. Your parents, too, they weren't going to fucking take you.
No. But back then, when we did go to the movies were only like $2 to get a ticket. There was a theater in the town that I lived in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, you grew up in the Midwest.
I grew up in the
Oh, my God, so this is definitely like your movie.
This is like the movie. So I grew up in a little town that had a 99-cent movie theater. And like the new releases would be 99 cents.
Holy shit.
So it was $1 to get in the movie theater, and popcorn was not like so overly priced that you buy it because you're at the movie theater because you're stuck there. But it was like popcorn was reasonable. $2 a bucket, whatever, with the soda. Sometimes they did combo deals that were like maybe for the time, it was like this is still expensive, but it's very affordable. So going to the movie theaters was not like spending half your fun money in one night.
Yeah, now movie theaters aren't a thing anymore.
We can't go to the movie theater anymore.
I know. I miss the movie theaters.
Thanks, 2020.
A lot of people I think a lot of people are like over movie theaters, but I still think it's the best way to see.
They may have been before the pandemic, like maybe people weren't going, and so now the pandemic is like, well, you can't go, so you never really miss anything until it's like gone. So now people just really want to go back to the movie theaters. Do
they though? I feel like I don't know. I know a lot of friends that I have. They just don't go to the movies. I mean, before all this shit happened, like I would say every other weekend I'd be in the movie theater.
But there's so many ways to watch things now. You don't need to.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I'm talking the big screen, like the dark theater, the sound. I mean, yeah, you gotta deal with some bullshit. Like the last movie I saw, there was somebody out there fucking crying, baby. And then somebody was on their phone and like their screen was very bright and I just could not stop staring at their screen.
Distracting.
But I don't know, a lot of baggage, but I still like it. But yeah, also too, like Winona Ryder, I guess, like she was not huge yet.
Winona Ryder was just coming.
She just came off of Beetlejuice.
This is going to come up a couple times.
Do you remember Lucas?
I do remember Lucas.
I want to talk about
and
Lucas.
I really remember Beetlejuice because this movie we're going to talk about Beetlejuice a couple times.
Because the funeral guy.
This movie was after Beetlejuice, and this movie, Beetlejuice allowed Winona Ryder to get sort of noticed for this movie, and she was coming out of that, and amazingly enough, I read that she was 16 when they did this movie, meaning she was younger when they did Beetlejuice. So this is like a 14, 15-year-old girl doing Beetlejuice. So you say what you want about Winona Ryder. She was beyond her years, like as an actress, being able to like hold those parts as a teen.
Oh, she's so great in this movie.
She is so great.
She got nominated.
She should have won.
I don't even know who got nominated.
I want to send her an award.
I know, right?
We should send her.
What would it be? Like, I don't know. We'll think of something.
Corn nuts in a slushy Slurpee.
We'll send her a chicken wing.
Yeah.
But it'll be like a trophy chicken wing.
Trophy chicken wing.
Yeah.
And a Swatch watch.
Yeah.
A chicken wing wearing a Swatch watch.
Yeah, I guess she wasn't like super big yet. But she was about to be on she was on the cusp of like
she was about to blow up, yes. And this one was it's a strange step when you go from like super like family oriented Beetlejuice to like dark comedy.
Well, not to jump ahead. I'll jump ahead a little bit, but we'll get more into it in trivia. But her agent did not want her to take this.
No.
And she really, really wanted this role. Yeah, I don't know.
And the screenwriter for Beetlejuice showed her the script for this one.
Really?
So, yeah, while she was in Beetlejuice, introduced her to this idea. Got her into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for notes?
I'm totally ready.
Now, I just want to say, for everyone listening, the most prepared guest I've had so far. I mean, she's got pages and pages of notes.
Pages. I did a scene by scene. I wrote down some of my favorite quotes and movie connections. I even did a goof. I have a goof.
Ooh, I don't do goofs. This is interesting. Okay. All right. I love a good goof. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I wrote, Heather makes Veronica forge a love letter to Martha Dump Truck.
Yes.
I like how she's just like, God, Heather, you're such a bitch. And like this, I like this line. Like Heather's like, well, fuck me gently with a chainsaw. Do I look like Mother Teresa?
That was a great line.
But I also put like, why does Veronica hang out with these people? So like, Veronica is like in this clique with like 3 bitchy girls, and they're all named Heather. So that's the titular Heathers. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. To me, like she seems like just like a hipster chick.
I think that's the biggest question. I think that for the movie the whole time is, why is Veronica friends with these girls? Because Veronica was like smart, really smart.
Yeah.
And she was a forger. So a little criminal. So she could do what she wanted. So apparently it's still important in the high school atmosphere to be seen as popular.
Yeah, I guess. But like I feel like everybody in the school, except the jocks who want to fuck them.
Yeah.
Everybody hates the Heathers. So I don't know. And to me, like she's nice to everybody. Like I don't know. I don't really I want to see like if they ever made like a prequel, which they shouldn't do, but like I want to see like how she got
how
into
it happened.
How it happened. Like
she
just seems so like above all this, and yeah, she seems more hipster.
And she's like above the Heathers. Like she doesn't buy into all.
Yeah, and she's actually like she constantly like second guesses the main Heather. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think what is interesting for her, she was also a rich person, and it was always their house that they were playing croquet. It was her house that they were playing croquet at. So she had something that brought them all together, and it was this, and they're playing croquet. How weird is that? Like,
yeah, that's weird too. Croquet. Was this like the best croquet movie?
This and like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh shit, is that? I don't know.
Yes, they played croquet in that one.
No shit.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that may be a lot to do with this one, like going down different rabbit holes, or I don't know, whatever tropes are in Alice in Wonderland. Maybe somebody could do a deeper dive, or like maybe a thesis on this movie. Not interesting. Mm-hmm.
The lunchtime poll.
Oh my god!
If you inherit $5 million the same day aliens tell the Earth they're blowing us up in 2 days, what would you do? All right, so what would you do?
Okay, so what would I do? Okay. So if I get $5 million, but the aliens are going to blow up.
They're coming to destroy the world in 2 days.
Well, what we have now, which is really good, is we have a person named Elon Musk who is selling rides to outer space.
Oh.
So maybe you have $5 million. Well, $5 million also in 2020 is actually not that much money. I mean,
you know what? For argument's sake, I'll say that
inflation.
We'll do inflation.
Okay.
So it's like I don't know, 17 million.
Okay, great. So now I have $17 million, and I'm gonna. You have all this money, but aliens are blowing up the world in 2 days. So do you just like try to leave Earth, or try to negotiate with the aliens, or do you buy a bunker, or do you just say, "What do I think?"
I don't think you can get a bunker together that quickly.
Maybe I don't care. Maybe
I would throw a big party.
Yeah, parties.
And I don't know. I would just I would have a big orgy. And I would do some weird sexual stuff I've never done before.
Finger in the butt or something.
Maybe. Nothing wrong. Nothing like nothing like. I would just try to have sex with as many people as I can.
Yeah. I guess that's probably the only thing that you could do.
Yeah, I just want to have a big party and just fuck a lot of girls. Like,
because you're not going to be able to use your money.
Right.
For anything else.
Yeah, I would just get a lot of kegs, maybe rent a beach house, maybe with a pool, just rage.
Yeah. I might record an album in a day.
Sure.
And use that as the soundtrack for the party.
Why not?
That sounds good.
But yeah, so she goes around, does the lunchtime poll, which is just like, I don't know, it's so stupid.
It was part of it was in the school newspaper.
oh, okay. We're going to get to the school newspaper in a minute.
Yet.
She catches the eye of JD.
Ooh, JD.
They are like eye fucking each other.
Yeah. Like
it's pretty hot.
Yeah. Can't wait to deep dive on this guy. But
yeah, they're in the bathroom. I wrote this line down, like the Shannon Doherty, Heather Duke, right?
Heather Duke is played by Shannon Doherty.
She's like I guess, puking, and then the main Heather is like, what was it? Heather McNamara?
Heather McNamara is the cheerleader.
Okay, and then who's the...
Heather Chandler.
Heather Chandler. She's like, grow up, Heather. Bulimia is so 87.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
So
line.
87.
But yeah, so JD, he's like the kind of new mysterious guy at school. And
Jason Dean.
Yeah, she goes up to him and he says his like iconic line,
Greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations, which
so
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. So okay, so there's been a lot said in all kinds of movie press that Christian Slater really idolized Jack Nicholson.
Okay.
I felt like his entire performance for this movie was based on the Jack Nicholson character in Batman when he played the Joker. I think the entire thing is the Jack Nicholson character in Batman, the Joker.
I wanted him to say, like, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
There was something that he did say that I felt like these things are just quoted right from the Jack Nicholson. I wrote it down somewhere. He was always, like, trying to be so mature. And he was always trying to, he would say, like, these, like, really deep quotes. I think being more extreme gets more attention or something like that.
Yeah.
He was just like this deep, like, brooding, dark fellow.
I'll go ahead and jump ahead for trivia. I found this hilarious. So you're saying that he acting like basically channeling Jack Nicholson. He straight up is. And he even wrote, this is so funny. He wrote Jack Nicholson a letter and like, hey, like I really idolize you. Like I want you to watch this movie. And then Jack Nicholson like never responded. He was like, fuck you, I'm doing blow and watching Lakers games like courtside. Like I'm not fucking with this.
Well, and at the time, Christian Slater was 19 years old.
Yeah, he was nobody. So like Jack Nicholson's like, I don't know, like what do you want me to say?
My favorite cringe line of his was the answer to the lunchtime poll. If you had $5 million and the aliens were going to blow up the world, what would you do? I would roll out to the middle of the lake somewhere with a bottle of tequila, my sax.
Yeah, he says it all weird. Sax.
What's he going to play saxophone in a boat with tequila?
I don't know.
I think Kenny G was becoming popular.
Oh, yeah. God, Kenny G.
Oh,
so lame. Awful. But I like when the two jocks come up. I don't know their names.
Ram and Kurt Kelly.
Ram and Kurt Kelly.
Yep.
Hey, doesn't this cafeteria have a no fags rule? Well, they seem to have an open door policies for assholes, though, don't they? And then, like, they're like, what'd you say? And he, like, pulls a gun at him. And shoots.
He pops off 2 shots.
But they're blinks.
But apparently.
Yeah.
So this day and age, that I don't know, like, kids bring guns to school, but they get in trouble.
Yeah, I guess I took it as, like, I think there's, like, an offline where they're just like, oh, yeah, like, I'm suspended for, like, a day or something.
Could be, yeah. And the girls were dishing about it during their next croquet match.
Oh, I wrote this down. So Veronica, like, constantly is like, Dear Diary, and she's, like, writing her diary, but she's, like, writing so vigorously, and she's got a monocle on.
She's wearing a monocle.
I love it.
Like the Monopoly
And she even wears it in class, too.
Yes.
She's so hipster.
She brought some Lydia Dietz with her to Heather's. Like, like Lydia Dietz in Beetlejuice was a freshman, then Veronica is junior and a senior in Heather's junior.
All right, so this next thing I wrote down. So basically, the main Heather, like, they go to this party.
Remington.
Yes, the Remington party. And, she gets sick, and Heather's, like, yelling at her, like, I brought you to a Remington party, and what's my thinks? It's on a hallway carpet. I got paid in puke. And then this might be my favorite line. Lick it up, baby. Lick it up. Oh, that's a great line.
It's a great line.
Yeah, I think this is kind of when, like, they kind of, like, she's just done with Heather. And then, so JD comes over to her house. Very, very stalkerish.
So there were some patterns that I noticed in Heather's. And the Remington party is the first time we see Veronica exploring self-harm behaviors. She lights a match and tries to burn her hand with the match, and then throws the match, and it goes into her beer. Apparently, it lights the beer on fire.
Okay.
Actually doesn't happen.
Yeah, that was I was like, huh?
Throws it out the window, and it lights the garbage can on
Which I thought
fire.
that was going to be a bigger thing. I thought, like, maybe it would catch the whole, like, party on fire, but
nothing really happens.
No.
But it was the first time that we see this, where there's this like darker side to Veronica. Well, maybe not the first time that we see the darker side, but there's this part of her which is trying this like self-harm, which.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then it comes up a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yep. But, and I don't know, just kind of, that was a weird pattern there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, it's a little subtle, but it's there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's her pulling more and more away from, you know, this social, you know, you don't have to only be friends with the popular people kind of a thing. So it's their break from all of that.
Yeah. But after the party, like JD comes over and yeah, they fuck on the croquet court.
Yep.
Yeah.
Strip croquet.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that's hot. And then, so yeah, the next morning they decide that they're going to prank Heather Chandler. And they're like, oh, we want to make her throw up. And then, oh, let's just mix like orange juice and milk.
What's the upchuck factor?
Yeah. And then JD's like, gets a bottle of bleach.
Oh my God.
And she's just like, oh, we can't do that. And then, yeah, he cleverly, like, he kind of kisses her, and she's just like kind of not paying attention.
The cheesiest switcheroo, which there really wasn't a switcheroo. It kind of would have been cool if he'd have like actually
she kind of just like grabs it.
Picked up the wrong one.
Which so they wake her up, and then like, oh, like, we got you something, and like, oh, it's like he says something like, oh, it's my uncle's bread or something. and then she's like, oh, I could drink it or something, and then like. My question is, like, how does she not realize it's bleach?
Duh.
Like, if I'm picking up,
you can smell it.
You could smell it, but if you're picking up like a coffee cup, like you could, your peripherals at least would see.
Actually, you brought me a coffee.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So all right, so can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
That's what I'm saying. She would know if it's bleach.
Mm-hmm.
But then this thing, so she fucking chugs it, and she fucking dies, which is great death because she falls on that glass table, and it's like, it's kind of awesome. Fun
fact, the actress is named Kim Walker, was dating Christian Slater at the
time. Yeah. Well, fuck, we can get into it. Yeah, we kind of just go over trivia as we talk, but apparently, so like, Christian Slater just seems like a fucking chode. Well, I'll tell you why, because he was dating Kim Walker, and then he like dumped her to go out with Winona Ryder.
Uh-huh.
And so, so Christian Slater's like, oh, yeah, like me and Winona Ryder dated. And then Winona Ryder said, like, they never dated.
Yeah, and then right after that, she was dating Johnny Depp.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. I feel like Christian Slater is just, like, full of shit. Kind of a slime ball.
But he must have been, like, super full of himself because he idolizes Jack Nicholson and then acts like him during the movie. Like, did no one find that to be a little, like, cheesy?
I like his performance.
His performance was great. But you could tell, like, once you knew, you know, I could just tell he was trying to be.
I feel like, so I haven't seen a ton of Christian Slater's movies. I've seen True Romance, which is really good.
Really good.
And I've seen Broken Arrow. Have you seen that one with John Travolta?
No.
It's like an action movie. But I feel like from the few movies I've seen, he plays Jack Nicholson like in every movie.
Oh, have you seen Pump Up the Volume?
No.
It's another Christian Slater.
Okay. Wow, you're really well versed in Christian Slater's filmography.
Yeah, well, I may have had a crush on Christian Slater. Not as much of a crush as I had on Johnny Depp. Whoa.
And now look at them now. Oh my God, Johnny Depp. Well, that's another story.
Ooh, another pattern that I picked up on before we got into the Remington party, was the pattern that Veronica had with her parents. Like every time her parents were on, they had the same dialogue, insert different articles.
Yeah, it's like, why do I read these spy novels? And she's like, because you're an idiot. He's like, oh yeah. I love it.
You too.
There's another one too where it's like, why do I smoke these cigarettes? And she's like, because you're an idiot. He's like, oh yeah.
You too.
I love the dad. He's just so like oblivious and stuff.
Oblivious. He's got the best line, I think, in the movie later on.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
This is another good line. God, there's so many good lines this movie. Oh my God, I just killed my best friend. And your worst enemy.
Same difference. Yeah.
And then she fakes the suicide note. Yeah.
She's just such a good forger. And I love the naivety that is just all over. Like, no one questions that this was a suicide.
But she's super naive too, which we'll get into. One of my notes later on is like, she's really stupid. But just, Heather or Veronica.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Heathers are dumb too.
But the police show up and they don't see like footprints in the glass.
No, these are the worst police.
Any fingerprints on the cup.
Ah, it's a case closed. It's a suicide. Hey, there's when they see the fucking coffee mug with a little bit of residue of bleach.
Yeah.
I guess
that would have been how she killed herself.
Yes,
but they would have also found the milk and orange juice.
Yeah.
Like, were they thinking? God knows what was happening.
I don't know
with the cops.
Okay, so this next note.
Yeah.
Okay, did you ever watch General Hospital?
General Hospital, yes.
So my mom watched this shit all the time when I was a kid. So, like, I didn't watch it, but it was always kind of in the background. And I started to, like, know the characters. And I started to, like, kind of get involved a little bit in the storylines. The principal is Edward Quartermain from General Hospital. Yeah. The kind of older principal.
That is excellent. I did not catch that one.
I was like, holy shit, that's the guy from General Hospital. He's dead now. But
excellent.
He died in 2012, sadly. But I was like, holy shit, that's crazy.
That's amazing. Crossover.
Yeah. And then we get to... best scene in the movie. Heather Duke is eating a chicken wing in the locker room.
In the locker room.
Ew.
In this scene, another pattern, makes a statement that is repeated a little bit later after the future deaths in this movie. She says, "Oh, the humanity," which is actually a common quote. I think I looked it up and it had something to do with the Hindenburg.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
But, "Oh, the humanity" is said after... they call out Heather Duke, Shannon Doherty, for eating, and she's like, I don't care anymore. Basically, that she can eat now because Heather Chandler is dead.
Right.
And she says, "Oh, the humanity." And then Winona Ryder puts the Swatch watch on and goes in the shower.
Yeah, that was a weird scene. Why is she like in the shower, like with her clothes on? I guess reflecting.
Trying to cleanse herself of her sins.
Oh, God, it's so poetic.
And then shows up the next scene in a classroom, and she's perfectly dry.
I didn't even think about that. That was a weird scene. Oh, speaking of the classroom scene, like the teacher's passing around Heather's suicide note.
How did they
everybody's like reading it. And I love when the kid's like, are we gonna get tested on this?
And everybody knew about it. That stoner girl was like,
is that Janine Garofalo?
It looks like her.
I think it might be. It's not her. Okay.
I definitely looked at the cast list and.
Because wasn't Janine Garofalo in Reality Bites, which also starred
Winona Ryder?
I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe they became friends.
Yes, and Ethan Hawke is really seriously very similar to Christian Slater in this movie. Reality Bites came out shortly after that. That might be the answer to this movie.
Maybe that was
like when you graduate or whatever, Reality Bites is like the next version of.
Oh, man, that might be a stay tuned. Heather's funeral. I love it.
Oh my God.
I love the jock. He's like, God, why'd you have to kill such hot snatch?
I love the device that they use in this. They used a lot of devices in this movie. They use inner monologue a lot. Like they use the Dear Diary speech. They use the inner monologues. I love it. And you can hear the things that everybody is really thinking about. And Heather McNamara, surprisingly, has some depth to her.
Yeah. Oh, I love Heather Duke's monologue. I prayed for the death of Heather Chandler many times. And I felt bad every time I did it, but I kept doing it anyway. Now I know you understand everything. Praise Jesus. Hallelujah. Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
That was really good. And Otho is presiding over the funeral.
Yeah, from Beetlejuice.
Yes, from Beetlejuice, which I thought was great.
That is awesome. Playing the exact same character, basically.
Yes. He should always play that.
What else was he in besides Beetlejuice in this? I can't even remember.
I don't know. We'd have to look him up. Probably another movie that you're going to explore.
JD and his father's relationship. Weird. Yeah, weird. I put weird, period. Yeah, like he acts like the dad, JD, and then JD acts like the son. Yeah. And then JD's like, he's got Veronica next to him, like, son, aren't you going to introduce me to your girlfriend? Or it's just like so weird. Yeah. It's odd. I don't even know what to say.
Later on, I think it's really evident when Veronica asks him, like, do you like your father? And he says, I hadn't even really considered it very much. So it was just a weird dynamic.
Yeah, and that's when the whole bomb thing's kind of set up. Yep. Like, I guess, like, his mom, like, died and
ran into the building. That was
like, the building was being demolished. And
yeah.
I guess he's like, well, what is he, like a construction guy? A guy who, like, demolishes buildings? I don't know. Very weird.
And apparently, in their world, if you work in construction, that means you move around a lot.
That was weird because I thought, like his dad must be in the military or something.
Right.
But no, he just does construction. Yeah, that doesn't really add up, does it?
Uh-uh.
Oh my god! So after the funeral, this part's awesome. Like, I guess the nerd steps on one of the jocks' shoes.
So good.
And he's like, "You suck dicks." He's like, "Oh, I like to suck big dicks." Or I can't get enough of them. These are like the perfect jocks. Like, they're so fucking over the top.
Yeah.
Mean.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ram and Kurt Kelly.
Yeah. Ram. What a name.
And he didn't seem like a linebacker, like his physique.
No. It was the quarterback and the linebacker, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got to go back to the yearbook. Like, they want to put Heather's suicide note in the yearbook. That's where, like, I kind of like the satire comes in. It's just like everything is like the reaction to this whole death is just so like over the top and just elevated to like.
Yeah. And make it bigger than life, which then that symbolically Heather becomes bigger than life. And like all of a sudden, like, she's the hero.
Yeah. In
her death, she's a hero. Even though she was so mean to everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny too, because like it's like it's getting news coverage, and then like JD and like Veronica are like watching like the TV, and like the other Heather Duke's talking about like, she was such a great person, and it's just like it's just like that. There's that front everybody's putting on, and it's just so fake. Yeah. And she was really just a horrible person.
And it was just sort of a commentary on like that there will always be cliques.
Yeah.
And there will always be like a mean girl head of that clique.
Yep.
And it will just keep rotating.
It's a vicious cycle. It's
Mm-hmm.
My next point, Veronica is kind of dumb. Okay, so this one, it was really hard to like defend Veronica. Like, they want to. So I guess the jocks make up a story that she like blew both of them.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, my grandfather, he's got these old bullets from World War II. Like, like they're just gonna break the skin. And Veronica's like, okay. She's like, hey, I need you to draft up these fake suicide notes. She's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we got to do that? Well. I'm like, come on, Veronica. Come on. This sounds stupid.
And this was back when like homosexuality just sort of like was coming out as something that people could talk about in the movies and stuff like that. And they just made so much fun of it. How mineral water became the tell-all. He's like, here's the homosexual artifacts I got.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they meet her in the woods, and she's like, and I like how like the guy's like, hey, should I just whip it out?
That's totally Ram.
Yeah, and then she shoots him. Yeah, and then like she fucking misses the other guy. Fucking JD's got to chase him down.
And they're running through this like part of the woods, and it was supposed to be dawn. And then there's some strategically placed cops.
The cops are that was my next note. Cops are hilarious. They're like smoking pot and like, hey, did you hear something?
I definitely heard it that time.
But yeah, then they catch up with JD and Veronica. They hide in the car and like pretend like they're making out.
So this was where I found one of my goofs. In the scene where the cops run up on Ram and Kurt Kelly, the first time they come in, like JD and Veronica have already run off, and the cops run up. The second cop is running up. His belt like sort of gives loose, and his nightstick falls off.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. I saw it. I was like, what? There was a disturbance in the leaves. So I rewound it a couple times, and I watched it. I was like, oh yeah, prop fail.
But it was funny. Like they're like talking on the walkie-talkies. He's like, hey, like what's going on there? He's like, oh man, it's just a bunch of facts. And then, but also he's like, oh yeah, I'm just here like a bunch of people. Just two kids making out. Like, oh, they're naked.
Are they naked? Yeah.
I love the cops. I want to spin off with the cops.
Those cops should have their own. Yeah.
I want their own movie where it's just like they're just.
I want to see their side of like solving all the crimes, like them showing up at the house and seeing like the first suicide. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I put we got the Jock's funeral, Ram and what's his name?
Kurt Kelly.
Oh
God.
My son's a homosexual and I love him. I love my naked son. I love how so they're in the casket and they got like
their
football helmets on and they got like the footballs and like in their hands. Oh my God, I love it.
So good. Okay,
so to go back to the principal.
Yeah.
Ed Quartermain.
Oh yeah, we go back to the faculty office.
Oh, it's so funny. He's just like, now I've seen a lot of bullshit. Angel dust, switchblades, sexually perverse photography involving tennis rackets. This suicide thing. Guess that's more on Pauline's wavelength. We're just gonna write today off.
Yeah, that's funny. They also switched seats in the faculty office, and the weird guidance counselor, whatever teacher she was now at the head of the table.
Yeah.
After Ram and JD died, I think it was one of the cops at the scene was the one that made the comment again, oh, the humanity. That came up a second time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the faculty. There's also a bowl of footballs on the table.
I didn't see that. Wow. You
Dude,
really paid attention.
I did. This stuff was like, I was looking for like Easter eggs and just the set dressing and all the stuff that they used was like perfect.
What do you think of the teenage suicide? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
How does it go? Teenage suicide. Don't do it.
By the band Big Fun.
We're going to get to that in a second. So yeah, JD and Veronica break up. Veronica's like, okay, you're insane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So she breaks up with him. And then so JD blackmails Heather
Duke. Yes.
I guess which is like, it's just so like
cheesy.
It's because they got pictures. He's got pictures of her being friends with someone when they were little.
With Martha Dump Truck.
When they were little?
Yeah.
Like
apparently that was a thing too because Betty Finn, Veronica's friend.
Yeah, that's right.
Friend from before she was popular, had pictures of them hanging out together. And then JD was going to blackmail Heather Duke with pictures of her being friends with Martha Dunn. Apparently, the worst thing in the world is to have been friends with the unpopular people when you were younger.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
And then I guess like he wants her to do a petition to get Big Fun to play at the prom. Well, okay, that is something like what's the significance in that? Like why get the band to come to the prom? Like what's the
big draw would be that prom is like the biggest thing in any high school ever. That's what you lead up to. Not graduation. It was prom.
Right.
And I guess Big Fun was like the coolest band around. Because clearly you could tell by that snappy song. So they wanted to get
do it.
And this was back in the 80s. This was back when live bands playing for things was still cool.
Yeah, now it doesn't exist.
And you could have look at all the movies like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Ooh, that might be a stay tuned.
Yep. And I think there were a couple. The Donnas is a band, and they played for a prom for a movie. I'd have to figure out what movie. I have to remember what movie it was. But like a lot of like high school prom movies had live bands playing for them.
The Donnas, were they the ones that did I Want to Take It Off, Take It Off? Yeah, yes, I knew it.
The Donnas, yeah. And they were the band for a high school movie. But yeah, all of those high school movies about prom had live bands. Back to the Future.
Was that a significant band?
Well, it was Chuck Berry's cousin.
Oh.
And then Marty McFly played the guitar.
Okay.
And that's how rock and roll.
Guess you kids weren't ready for this. That's a good movie. But yeah, look at that weird dream sequence.
That was super weird.
Yeah.
But I also thought that very Tim Burton-esque with the green light and the weird 3D glasses.
And just having the guy from Beetlejuice be in it.
Mm-hmm. And what was up with like spaghetti? Like I felt like
was
definitely trying to put things in over and over and over again. Like my favorite meal is spaghetti with lots of oregano.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but that came up.
So yeah. So JD comes into her room. She like pretends to hang herself.
Yes, excellent.
And he was like, "Oh, I loved you. I mean, I was gonna kill you." Yeah. So he kind of reveals his plan. Like he's gonna blow up the fucking school.
Yep. And that the petition was actually a giant suicide letter that they all signed.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Oh, okay. I remember now because each petition they signed was like different things.
Well, yeah, Heather Duke was like totally fake and got everybody to sign based on false pretenses.
Okay.
But that was what JD had.
Okay, so that's why they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's coming back. Oh, I love like she's just like. Here's my question: how long was she hanging there for?
Had to have been a minute because like, how would she have known that? JD
How did she know he was going to come over?
How did she know that JD was going to find her before her parents?
Right. I don't know. That doesn't really add up, but whatever. And then I love when the mom comes up. She's like, "Oh, I know I should have let you get that job at the mall." And then she's just like, she's just nonchalantly, she's like, "Hey, mom, like, well, why so tense?"
Yeah.
I like that scene.
It was great. Oh, after JD and Ram died, after they killed them, they were in the station wagon outside of school. And that was the second time that Veronica burnt herself with the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
Yep. The second time. Yep. So another one.
I actually have a theory, which we'll get into in trivia, because there is an alternate ending for this.
Ooh.
So, and I got things to say. I think I might know why that's in there. Okay. But anyway, I would say the last, 20 minutes of this movie is awesome. It's super intense.
Yes.
And, so, she knows that of his plan, and she's, trying to stop him. And I love when she like walks into the school, and then like that fucking guidance counselor, she's just like, oh, JD told me he committed suicide. You know, that's the most important decision a teenager can make.
I know. It's that her whole motivation the whole time. Is she enjoying the fact that kids are killing themselves because now she's relevant?
Yes, I think it's like she's reveling in like the of relevancy.
That people have these dark emotions.
Yeah,
she can do something.
Yeah, but
also her getting everybody together in the cafeteria. I thought Mean Girls, that movie with Tina Fey and Lindsay Lohan, pulled from that when they got everybody together in the gymnasium.
Okay, it's been like 10 years since I've seen Mean Girls. I just remembered I remembered I was Mean Girls now. It was on E all the time.
100%. Yes.
Good line. She walks down in the boiler room. She's like, "May I see your hall pass?" Yeah, I don't know. I just like that.
It was good.
Yo, she fucking shoots off his fucking finger.
I love it.
I fucking love it. It's so gory.
So gross.
It's so gross.
Finally, we get a payoff from all these murders and killings and stuff like that with not a whole lot of blood, and finally we get a payoff.
Yeah, great. And then he kind of says that line, which you kind of mentioned earlier about, hey, everybody, can get together. The only way everybody can get along is if they were in heaven. Mm-hmm. I like the ending where it's just like he blows himself up and she's just like lighting a cigarette. It's so fucking cool.
And the explosion lights the cigarette for her.
Yes. And then she's just like walking through the halls, and then like Heather's just like, you look like hell. And she's like, yeah, just got back.
That was so good.
She's so fucking cool in this movie.
She is so cool in this
And
movie.
I like how she takes the red ribbon. She's like, there's a new sheriff in town. And then like she hangs out with Martha Dump Truck. Hey, you want to go? My prom date fell through. You want to go rent some new movies? Oh, it's like, that was cute.
That was really cute.
Just a great. I love the ending.
I do. Yeah.
Which we could talk about do you want to talk about the alternate ending?
Alternate ending.
So I guess originally she was supposed. So she kills JD, and then she puts on the bomb, and then she kills herself. And there's this scene where like, kind of going back to what JD said, like the only way people can get together is if they were in heaven.
Yeah.
And so like there's like this prom scene in heaven, and all the different cliques are like dancing with each other, and on stage Heather Dump Truck, or Martha Dump Truck is like, she's like the entertainment. Everybody's watching her on stage. Oh. The punch is actually the bleach.
Okay.
So
that's kind of cheesy.
I don't know. I think kind of going back to what we were talking about, like why is she hurting herself?
Yeah.
Like I think that this ending would have made that make a little bit more sense.
Could be. I'm glad that they went with the ending that they did, because after the after the Ram and Kurt Kelly, the next time you see Veronica and her parents, they have a new pattern, and it's not this family like same old fun little jokey between them. There's an argument, and that's when she's saying they just want to be treated like adults. And the mom is like, how do you think adults actually treat each other? If you think adults treat each other differently in the real world, basically you're wrong. Like, how do you think adults actually act? Basically, is what mom was saying. And she's like, we don't want to be patronized like bunny rabbits. And the best one was the father.
Oh, yeah.
I don't patronize bunny rabbits. But the mom, how do you think adults act with other adults? That was great. I think we know, as you grow and, we're older now, and being in 30s and our 40s, we know like high school never really goes away. Like people never really go beyond high school.
Right.
In terms of how we treat each other, talk about each other, and like still calling people names and still laughing at the same thing. So kind of glad that there was a shift where Veronica calls out JD's madness instead of like continuing down that road.
Right.
Being destructive.
Also, it's worth noting that we didn't really talk about the cow tipping scene.
Oh my God.
In the dream sequence, in the original ending, the like people were taking pictures, like the jocks were taking like their prom pictures with the cow.
Oh Lord.
The ending, I like the ending we got. While we kind of mentioned there is that sort of dark side to Veronica, I never really bought that she would commit suicide.
Yeah.
So I like the ending that they went with. And yeah, like you kind of said, it is kind of just she comes to that realization.
And even in her diary, like she's learning, like getting that, like understanding, like people, like their deaths are actually making them more human than they were when they were alive.
Yeah.
So she knows that she won't accomplish what she wants, like if she dies.
Right.
That this is going to be no matter what, and people will just take over. And I think in that dream sequence. Really
I guess the studio just thought it was just too dark and weird. It would have been cool if they filmed it and that was a deleted scene, but they didn't even film it.
They didn't even film it?
They didn't even
because that would have been cool if it was one of those.
I know, I would have loved to watch
the DVD
that.
commentary part or
the book that they're underlining the meaningful passages from that they put in the suicide notes. Originally, Catcher in the Rye, but they changed it to Moby Dick because Moby Dick is in the public domain. Catcher in the Rye would have just been too on the nose. I'm kind of glad they went with Moby Dick.
Yeah, Moby Dick makes a little bit more sense. You know, trying to attain something that it keeps evading you. Oh,
this is interesting. Brad Pitt auditioned for the role of JD.
Ooh.
He was rejected because he was considered too nice. Here's the thing. Brad Pitt in a lot of his movies is just like that, like cool, like just laid back, chill guy. I can't see him as JD. I can't. I think Christian Slater is perfect. Well, Christian Slater's a fucking nut in real life too.
Yes, and let's call it out. Brad Pitt was in True Romance with Christian Slater.
That's true.
Yeah,
they were also in. I've never seen this movie, Interview with a Vampire.
That is true.
Yeah,
that movie is excellent.
Yeah, well, I was talking to somebody about that. That might be a stay tuned. That might be a stay tuned.
I wonder if just Hollywood is a lot smaller than people think, and it's just basically the same people in all the movies.
I don't know. Maybe. The role of Heather McNamara was originally offered to a 17-year-old Heather Graham.
Excellent.
Heather's parents refused to let her take the role because of the dark subject matter. Jeez, fuck your parents, Heather.
Right.
Heather Graham. Like, Heather Graham ended up having a good career, but still, like, could have been even better.
So I miss her. You know who else I miss? Bridget Fonda.
Oh yeah, she retired.
Yeah, she was in Jackie Brown.
I also kind of miss Winona Ryder. I feel like
me too.
She kind of had a mini comeback with Stranger Things.
Yeah, thank God.
I feel like after her like shoplifting thing, like I feel like that hurt her career. Like I didn't see her in things. Like after Mr. Deeds, which is a horrible movie.
Bad.
There is one part I laughed at the time. It's that one part where Adam Sandler's like, "What did you want to be when you grow up?" And this one lady's like, "I wanted to be a man." At the time, like 12-year-old me laughed at that. Now I like realize it's like really insensitive. Like,
or it wouldn't have been a joke.
Yeah, it's not even really a joke. You're just joking. Yeah, it's not even a joke now. But like, I don't know. Mr. Deeds is a horrible movie. But that's like the last big thing I remember her from. And then she kind of vanished.
Gone. Yeah. And had a mental health issue or whatever.
Oh shit, that's right.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, poor.
She's apparently still married to Keanu Reeves though.
Oh, did you hear about that? Like they, I guess,
actually got married in.
But they didn't
filming Dracula.
They didn't realize though that they got married.
She knew it.
Oh, they should consummate that.
I would like to trick Keanu Reeves into getting married.
Shit. They should consummate that. I hope they did.
JK, I don't really want to marry Keanu.
Why not?
Of course I want to marry Keanu.
Ooh, the role of Veronica was intended for Jennifer Connelly.
Ooh, turned it Labyrinth. Down. Movie Connect.
I think Winona Ryder is perfect. I cannot see anyone else playing the role.
Think anyone else would have been able to capture like the quirkiness of it, which it needed to be quirky.
It was just
she's got the monocle.
So well balanced.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of naivety.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of like we said, like kind of that darkness, that kind of bitchiness. It's just so, it's just so perfectly balanced.
Yeah, 100%.
So this was the movie that basically got Shannon Doherty cast in Beverly Hills 90210.
Wow.
Yeah, so Tori Spelling, who was the daughter of Aaron Spelling, who was like the big shot producer of that show, who Tori Spelling was also in that show, saw the movie and basically recommended Shannon to her dad. Yeah, which I never really got into. Beverly Hills 90210 before my time. Did you like that show?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely watched that one. Beverly Hills 90210, 90 as we may have called it, came before Melrose Place.
Was the Melrose Place a spinoff?
I don't know if it was it a spinoff? I don't know.
I think it was
after, or like came like
towards the end.
Towards the end or whatever. But 90 was definitely. Party of Five was another one that came out after that.
Yeah.
was similar.
Party at 5, I feel like is This Is Us before This Is Us.
Yeah.
Just like grief porn. Everything's sad.
100%. 100%. I read something where Shannon Doherty in this movie, in Heathers, was the outcast of the group.
She was kind of a bitch. She had like a very conservative upbringing, which there's nothing wrong with that, but she just like, didn't want to cuss and like, just like, I don't think she fully got the material, and she just like, from what I read, she was kind of a little full of herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Daniel Waters, who was the screenplay, who was a screenwriter, he wanted Stanley Kubrick to direct this originally. He said, quote, Kubrick was the only person that could get away with a 3-hour film. I guess, I don't know, maybe the script was larger originally. Everybody wants Stanley Kubrick to direct their movies, so.
Did he do like Platoon or Full Metal Jacket?
He did Full Metal Jacket.
Who did Apocalypse Now?
That was Francis Ford Coppola.
Okay. So he did Full Metal Jacket?
Yes.
I feel like there were aspects of this movie that probably made sense.
So the beginning of,
it would have made sense.
I guess the cafeteria scene was, from what I read, it's supposed to be an homage to the opening scene in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I guess when they were in boot camp, I don't know. I didn't really get that.
I'd have to watch that one again.
I need to, yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh, this is kind of eerie. So 2 of the cast members died at young ages in ways which were eerily prophesied by the script. Jeremy Applegate, whose character Peter prays he will never commit suicide, shot himself on March 23rd, 2000 at age 34. Kim Walker, whose character Heather Chandler asked, did you have a brain tumor for breakfast? Died of a brain tumor on March 6, 2001 at age 32.
Oh my God.
Creepy.
That is creepy.
Creepy. And that's it for trivia.
Oh, wow.
All right. Let's do some categories.
Okay.
So, what's the best scene of this movie?
Oh, the best scene of this movie.
It's a toughie.
That is a toughie. I kind of feel like the very first cafeteria scene.
Yeah, you kind of get a good sense of like, all the cliques and like everybody's kind of level of popularity.
Yeah.
Everybody's place at the school.
Yeah.
That's very well done. Yeah.
I think so. It looks like they spent a lot of time on it.
I'm trying to think.
Scene in the movie.
I really liked it last 20 minutes. I just think everything. I think everything with like her.
The boiler room was incredible.
The boiler room scene. I'm gonna go with the boiler room scene and like the leading and also the constant shift between. It was very suspenseful. The shift between the boiler scene and like the pep rally. I'm gonna go with the boiler room scene and then him killing himself. The whole ending. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
What's the worst scene? I don't know if there is a bad scene in this movie.
Worst cheesy scene. I didn't really love the scenes with JD's dad because really didn't develop him as a character until he shows the video of him blowing up the building.
I feel like that's the only reason why his dad's in the movie.
Yeah,
to kind of set that up. But did you really need to set that up? I mean, you could just.
I don't know. We could have gotten.
I guess it's kind of to explain that he knows about bombs because his dad blows up things. I don't know. I might go with that too. I'm trying to think. Like, the dad stuff. Like, I didn't hate it, but it was just so weird.
Yeah, took the energy out maybe a little bit.
Yeah, and they're like living room's weird too. Yeah. It's got like gym equipment. Like it's like a treadmill. Yeah, that was just like just an unexplainable like weird little thing in the movie. I guess I'll go with that. All right. What's the best quote? This is tough.
Oh my God, I don't even know.
This is so tough.
I don't know. There are so many. I really liked "Fuck Me Gently with a Chainsaw."
That's great.
Yeah, I really like that one. I'm gonna pick that one.
All right, I'm gonna go with "Lick It Up, Baby, Lick It Up." I think I have to go with that. I say that line in my everyday life.
Yeah, there were so many things that they said, like "How very," and I liked the one "Color Me Stoked," and just all like the '80s things. The sarcasm was so good, but I don't know.
This was it felt, I know it's late 80s, but it felt, this might be a dumb comment, but it felt really early 90s.
Early 90s, yeah.
Yeah, you could tell, like, this is when, like, the fashion was kind of starting to change into, like, the early 90s. It was kind of interesting to see that. This is, like, when it kind of, you could see people wearing, like, the kind of denim jackets, and it kind of, felt a little grungy.
Because I was during that time that those girls, it was interesting, they all wore blazers with shoulder pads. Yeah. Shoulder pads were like the thing.
Yeah.
And right at that time, I remember like clothing and going to the Limited were seriously the most important things a girl could do at that time.
Best unintentional comedic moment. I mean, I feel like everything's pretty. I don't think there's anything unintentional.
I love My Dead Gay Son.
I think that was meant to be
But all
funny,
of it
though.
was like intentional. Best unintentional comedic.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we can answer that one.
I don't think. Maybe when he got his finger shot off.
You laughed at that? You sick fuck.
I know.
Okay. I actually have one. This is kind of mean, but what's the dump truck girl's name?
Martha.
When Martha spills her Coke, it's supposed to be like this
Yes.
sad moment, but I laughed.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't think that's supposed to be funny. Like,
I laughed when the other Heather McNamara, was in the bathroom trying to kill herself.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
Like, Sting, childproof lock.
That is kind of funny because she's
That was
like,
funny.
she can't get the fucking thing open. She's an idiot.
Yeah, that was funny to me.
Okay. Best performance. I think you can make a strong case for Christian, but
Slater.
it's got it. You think it's Christian? I think it's
I was
Winona.
agreeing with you. Yeah.
I think this is Winona Ryder's best role.
To know that she was 16 when she did it, like, is huge.
Well, let's think about this.
She
Is there any role better than this for Winona? I haven't seen all of her movies. I mean, what'd she do?
Mermaids.
I've never seen
She was
that.
in
Doesn't
Mermaids.
that have the guy from 16 Candles in it?
Jake Ryan?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh.
But maybe, yeah.
I never saw Girl Interrupted. Is she good in that?
Oh, yeah, she's actually really good in that one.
Oh, she's great in Alien Resurrection. No.
No, that was cringy. But Girl Interrupted, she's excellent in. This movie, though, she's just sort of like so mature as an actor.
Yeah.
I really liked her.
Let me ask you this. This is Christian Slater's best performance. I think you can make a strong argument. I think I go True Romance.
True Romance, he was quite good. And I think there were some other things that Christian Slater's done since, but
I need to brush up on my Slater.
yeah, Slater. Didn't he have a series?
He was on Mr. Robot for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I have not seen that show. I hear it's very good. But yeah, Winona for me, Winona for you.
Yeah, I'd say.
This is a toughie. I don't know if I can answer this. Worst performance.
Oh.
Because I think, here's the thing. There's the performances in this are very over the top, but they're meant to be that way. So I think everybody... there's some shitty actors in this movie, but I feel like their shittiness is like to the advantage of the script and the movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't think there is a bad performance because I think everybody played their roles.
I think
perfectly.
the two cops were like a little bit too campy. And the one cop was making like all these like underhanded innuendo, like maybe he was also homosexual. Because he was like, oh, what a waste. Mm.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Oh, yeah.
I need to watch
Go
this
back
again.
and watch the cop scene
Okay.
again, because I thought that the bald-headed cop was a little too over campy. But other than that,
I mean, maybe the jocks, but again, they're supposed to be dumb.
jocks. And that cow tipping scene was priceless.
That is great.
It was so good. I don't know.
I don't think I think this is an NA for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too, because I didn't dislike anybody. I didn't think anybody was out of place.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up. Let's rate this movie and give our final thoughts. So, final thoughts, and what would you give it out of 5?
I give the movie Heathers 5 out of 5.
Okay.
And my final thoughts on this, I think it was groundbreaking as far as changing the dynamic of teenage movies at the time. And I think it opened the door for the macabre to be something in that teenage genre that could be linked with comedy, and did it very well.
All right. I think I'm going to go a 5 out of 5 too, which, as of this is going to be episode 11. I think this is the highest rating I've given so far. I mean, I was trying to think, and like, I think, now, is this Casablanca or The Godfather? No, but for what this is, it was so unique, as we've discussed. I mean, I can't really find any faults with the movie. Right. There's nothing I dislike about the movie. I think the performances are really great. I mean, the cast is good. I think the script is amazing. I mean, the dialogue is just so refreshing and funny. I laugh so much.
I really like the use of color, though, too. And, like, all the fashion and everything was, like, so spot on. And the colors were related. They're very, like, symbolically placed. So I think like when you're watching it, it's appealing to the eye as well. So I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
5 out of 5. I think, yeah. I love it.
Heather's.
All right, so that was Heather's. Carrie, this has been a blast.
I had a lot of fun.
And I'll have to have you on. We'll have to do something.
We've got so many more Christian Slater movies to do.
Yeah, we'll have to do another Slater movie or Winona or Doherty movie.
Yeah, the Christian Slater Chronicles.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening, and I will see you guys next week.
Latros.